Hello everybody, it's Trav and Subi with you again. And today we're going to make some homemade vanilla. This is something that we've talked about doing for a long time. And actually I had a coworker talk about doing it and how she makes it, and she gives it away as Christmas gifts and things like that. So I surprised Mary Sue with some vanilla beans and some little jars and things. So we've been talking about this for about a week now. And so what are we going to do today?
Gonna use some vodka. Gonna use some spiced rum, regular dark rum, and some bourbon. I think this is bourbon.
Right. Every type of alcohol gives it a different flavor. So yeah, the bourbon is a traditional one. The vodka is what most vanilla is made from, and we've never done this before, but everything we've read and watched other YouTube videos about, really doesn't matter if it's the best vodka out there or the cheap stuff. So we got sort of a medium grade on that. The bourbon we just sort of happened to have. We did go out and get the spiced rum because from what people have told us, that gives it a really nice little flavor that we've never tried before. Usually when you cook with it, you use regular vanilla, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't like the vanilla, like the flavorings. I like the true vanilla, 100% vanilla.
Okay, so we have this organic vanilla beans, and let's see, where
Got
are
them
these?
off of Amazon.
Where are these from? These are Madagascar vanilla beans. From what we've read and watched again on YouTube, Madagascar is probably the predominant one. You can also get them from Mexico or from Tahiti, and I'm sure there's some other places. So what we're going to do is we're going to make them in half pint jars. We're going to take these, we're going to cut them, and we'll show this in a minute, but what we are going to do is take them out. We're going to cut them in half as like lengthwise, or half, so that they like two halves. Yeah, cut that in half. And then we will split them also, and we will put 2 beans worth in each of these jars. Actually, this jar is a honey jar that we had that I think is just a really cool jar. So we're going to use that one also. And anyway, what we're supposed to do is, once these are done, the longer you let them sit in a cool, dark place, the more flavor comes out. So 6 months is what we've heard is the minimum on this. So as you can see, we sort of have some fall stuff around us. It is actually the first part of October. This won't be ready for Christmas. It may be Christmas next year because the longer you keep them in there, the stronger it gets. 6 months is the minimum. A lot of people like to leave it 12 months, 18 months, or even 24 months. Let it sit. After it's in here and we put the mixture in here, you're supposed to like shake it daily for the first month or so, and then weekly after that. And then after a couple of months, you'll do it just like monthly, just to kind of stir it up and keep it going. So we'll walk you through the whole process as we go through. We're looking forward to this. We'll get it started today, and then like in 6 months, we'll have a follow-up to see what how it turned out.
Sounds good. $26 beans. There's 26 beans in this little package. They don't look like very big beans. They're kind of small. So we're gonna have to, I guess, double up on them in our jars. I'm just kind of laying them out here right now. I'm gonna take a knife and I'm gonna split them and cut them in half. So let's see how we do this here. Just have my paper chef knife. They're a little chewy kind of feeling when you cut through them. And they're kind of sticky. Like you can see on the mat, it's kind of sticky leaking out. So I don't know. They look, on the other videos that I watched on YouTube, they would save every little bit of bean out of there, but they kind of split it and spread it open. They were vacuum packed in this package. It says fit clean herbs and spices. It says it's out of Los Angeles, but that's not where they came from. They actually came from Madagascar. Used best within 30 days. So we'll just cut a few here, and I think I'll cut the whole thing instead of cutting it like that. So I don't think I split that one. Awfully chewy feeling. Very fragrant. I can smell that bean. It's hard to cut a bean. I never have done this before. Maybe I need a sharper knife. This looks like it's cutting. Let's see. Let's try to spread it open here. It's hard to do. I think I'm gonna get another knife. Okay. Paper chip wasn't cutting it, so I got my Cuisinart here. So let's try this. I wound up cutting my mat, but it is cutting through much better. So get a very sharp knife when you go to do this. And yeah, that's spreading that bean. I don't know if you can see that, but it's spreading it open. So I think we'll split a bunch of them here and go from there. And I think you had mentioned that these are not grade A, they're like grade B beans. When you order your beans, you can order different grades of beans, and you don't actually have to have the fanciest, most expensive bean to make your homemade vanilla. Oh yeah, this is cut much better. Get a really sharp knife with a really sharp tip on it. Okay, we'll see you in a minute.
And so we're working our way through, and she was talking about the grade B. It's not that it's a secondary or a lesser quality bean. It's just the way they've prepared them a little bit. They really are not probably as pretty as the grade A's, but they get the job done from what we've read on this. So something that's really cool. They're kind of like a green bean that's been cured. It's really fascinating. If you can find a video on how they've made these things, it's really cool. Very labor intensive. It's like the second most expensive spice behind saffron. So inside, I mean, it looks like a green bean, but inside is these little bitty
Specks.
I don't know if you can really see that.
It's like the paste.
Little specks, like a little paste. And that is actual, the little bean part that you definitely want to make sure you get all this. See, I'm making sure I put it back inside this little husk here. So we're cutting them. She's slicing and dicing over there, and I'm cutting them in half with our kitchen scissors.
Yeah, this is the perfect knife for this because it's got that nice little tip on it, like a little hook. So it gets in there really good. Because you really don't want to cut all the way through it. I guess it wouldn't hurt it if you did, but kind of just want to split that top.
So you can make these in any size. So I said we're using a half pint jar, and we're going to put 2 beans, which will be 4 halves in each one of those, just because these are smaller beans. Some people would use the pints, some people would just put them in a big, huge, I mean, you can actually take the thing of vodka and just put them straight in there. You would probably put a different cap on it because you don't want the metal to touch it.
We got the big one.
We got the big monster one here, so.
We got some different brands. I don't know, what's that one called?
It's Union Market.
Ever heard of that?
We're not big drinkers anyway, so this is one of those where you go in there like, okay, I don't need the best quality, but I don't want to be, a tight wad either. So, what do we have? And we always try to get with the glass, just sort of it purifies it a little bit better versus the plastic. We're big on that with a lot of things. We don't like to put anything in plastic if we don't have to.
So you get the glass. The plastic has all those. I know they say they don't have all that. But stay away from plastic.
So here we are. There's 1 bean, which is 2 halves, and another 2 halves, and we're going to go ahead and put those in our little jars here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What'd you put in there? 2. That's 4. Okay.
I'll put a little in there. Some of them are pretty fat, and then some of them are really skinny.
Right.
So, kind of vary here. If I get a fat one, I'll put a skinny one in there.
Here. We may need to get some more jars washed out, but that's fine. So here's another one.
It sure leaves your fingers brown and almost like a sticky. Now my fingernails, I have it underneath my fingernails.
Okay, so let's go ahead and put, what do you think? 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be a half pint. What do you think? Double up?
Nah, sure. It's not going to hurt it.
That's not going to hurt anything. Okay.
It's strong smelling.
And again, we have a few left over
we'll find
here.
another jar.
Yeah, we'll get some other jars here in a minute and we'll do that.
These are a little bit bigger jars. Well, how many you got there?
Okay, so we would need to put 8 in each one of these. How many do we have left here? Maybe 1, 2, 34, 96, 79. Good. We got off somehow. Okay,
Close enough.
close enough. All right, so now we just start adding the alcohol.
Okay,
So,
we want to label these, one with the month, which is October of 2024. And we also want to put what kind of liquor that we put in here, whether it was just plain vodka or this dark rum or
yeah, it'd
or
probably be
spiced
like
rum.
probably put a V or an R or a B for bourbon and SR for spiced rum.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
So we'll
I don't want to overthink anything.
So we'll do this, and you can watch us pour it in here and fill it up.
All right, so we're going with the vodka first here. And you want to fill it almost all the way up, maybe to the bottom of the line there.
You need
Just-
a little shaking room.
Yeah, so when you go to shake it, you'll have a little bit of room there. So
And we were also instructed by one of the people
we
to,
need to get a bigger piece.
no, we'll get a big
Okay.
piece. Use wax paper to.
It just gives it a nice barrier, like a nice, it's gonna keep any of, like we're gonna use metal rings. You have to put on there, you know, the regular canning rings, and you don't want the metal to touch this, it'll change the flavor of it. So that's what she's doing right now, is doing that. Had just a little bit of vodka left here, so we'll go ahead and start this one here, and then we'll have to put this aside and fill it off with another one.
It is under my fingernails. It's a mess.
All right, so there's that one, but you do that.
So just put your wax paper on and put your lid on.
And somebody said take the plastic out of that when it pours, but we'll see what happens if you don't do that. It just makes the glug 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 sound. Okay. All right. So there's that one. So we'll make most of these with the traditional vodka.
Yes, this is a huge bottle. We'll never drink all that. Oh, I messed up. I was supposed to put my ring on. Sorry.
We may not have ever made vanilla before, but we have cooked and canned before. So this.
This is supposed to go on, then put your little lid thingy, and then put your ring on. Ooh, I got vodka in my hands.
All right.
Smells good.
There you go.
And we live in Kentucky, UK blue
Have
rings.
the blue, yeah, absolutely. Use this one. Right here.
It's Sunday fun.
Fun fact, in Frankfort, Kentucky, alcohol sales are legal on Sundays.
And we live really close to Buffalo Trace, if anybody's ever heard of
Yeah, that was
Bobby Van Winkle.
not the neatest I've ever
Or,
done.
is that Happy Van Winkle made down there?
Yeah.
Or bourbon cream, Buffalo Trace bourbon cream. Awesome in eggnog, if you like eggnog.
All right, so
Here's that little thing. I don't know if you're supposed to put the
let's
wax.
try the stopper in that by itself. We'll just see.
Let's see if it blows the stopper off.
Yeah, it could blow the stopper off later. We never know. All right, so let's try a little bourbon.
Okay,
Just one. We'll just do one with the bourbon.
Just stick everything that has it so I can label it.
Yeah, where's the marker? Just go ahead and mark it. Here it is. Okay. So we'll mark it on here. It is vanilla.
Well, the vanilla has a very strong scent. Doesn't smell like vanilla, like a vanilla candle. Doesn't smell like vanilla lotion or
You
anything.
see,
It's-
it says vanilla 1024 with a V for vodka. So that's how we're going to mark these.
And then we've got we've got this, we don't even know where this came from. It's called Bacardi Gold.
I think it was either a gift or someone left it here.
Maybe somebody left it here. I don't know. I'll put it in here. Well, what do you do when there's only that much left?
Close enough. We celebrate after we're done.
That's eggnog.
Okay,
Pumpkin
so,
spice eggnog.
so that's the regular rum. Okay.
That's called gold.
Yeah.
Here now, I'm gonna have to wash my hands. The lady that we watched said, don't let the solution, whatever you wanna call it, vanilla, don't let that whole liquor touch a metal, make metal contact. So that's why we're using the wax paper.
There's the rum. Let's try, this is small batch 1792, made here locally in Frankfort, Kentucky. So we'll do this.
I think we're known as the bourbon capital of the world.
Yeah, something like 90% of the world's bourbon comes from Kentucky, and the majority of that comes from either Frankfort, Kentucky, where we live, or Bardstown. Fun fact, Bourbon County in Kentucky has no bourbon in it. So we'll get that real quick.
I thought I might have bourbon by now. There's distilleries popping up everywhere, and wineries. That's kind of replaced the whole tobacco growing that we used to have here in Kentucky.
Okay, so there's one thing of bourbon. We'll do the spiced rum now. Probably just gonna do one of the bourbon and the rum and the spiced rum. We'll go back to the vodka for the rest of them.
That one pours fast. Okay, a little bit more.
A little more than that one? Okay, yeah, get it right up very close to that line.
I think it's choking me up.
We'll do two of the spiced rum.
Sure.
Well, no, actually, no, because she was excited because not only is she gonna use this in the vanilla,
Go ahead and use it.
it goes in her eggnog. Okay.
Sorry about that. I had to go get a drink.
Okay. You gonna write on those? And I will finish off the vodka on these. Oh, there we go. So,
Don't let the color of this fool you. That's not the vanilla. That's just the spiced rum color.
all right, so here's the last two of the vodka. And you see, it looked like, you know, we never done this before. I'm like, well, that's an awful big bottle of that. But as you can see, we really don't have much left. And if we hadn't used the bourbon and the rum, we would have
We ran it.
emptied this on 12 half pints. Thank you.
Okay, there we go. How many we get?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 halves, a full pint, and however much that is.
A honey jar.
Yeah, honey jar. Okay, so this was some of the first ones we've done, and you can't see any color started yet. We've been at this for what, 15 minutes? So anyway, you really can't see the color right now. We'll shoot some video through the next couple of months as we're doing this, little small updates. This will probably be one big video a year from now. So we're just sort of imagining right now what it's going to look like. We'll be as surprised as you. So anyway, that's all for right now. We'll keep you posted. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
All right, and here we are, all ready to go down to the basement to be put in a cool, dry, dark area. And we will begin the shaking process tomorrow.